guys, welcome to my first video. Novice nurse here. My name is Pierre. So in this video, I wanted to give you a synopsis of what my channel is going to be about, my background, and what I'm doing currently to get to my goals of being a nurse. For starters, I already have a bachelor's. I have a bachelor's of fine arts. I went to Parsons, the new school of design in New York City, to be a graphic designer. I got a bachelor's in communication design, and I worked as a graphic designer for the last, I don't know, 9 years. I started in college, so 2 years of experience in college, and then I got four years experience at a magazine. I worked freelancing for additional 3 to 4 years. So the reason why I guess I'm changing careers is because growing up, I come from an artist family. My mother is a sculptor. My father is a dancer. And so a lot of people in my family are artists. So I can draw, I can paint. I'm an artist as well. So I always knew I was gonna go into some type of art program. I'm gonna be an artist of some kind. And that's exactly what I did. I have another YouTube channel where I do natural hair videos. So I am natural, and I also do hair, and it was either between being a cosmetologist or a fashion designer. I was so much into fashion in high school. I knew that I wanted to do fashion design. So I applied to FIT, applied to Parsons, I applied to Pratt. I got into FIT and into Parsons. I did not get into Pratt, but you know, whatever. And Parsons was giving me the most money as far as grants was concerned, so I went to Parsons. And I'm glad I did, because I learned very quickly that fashion design was not for me. I'm an excellent illustrator, but I hate sewing. So luckily my first year of college, one of my friends taught me a Photoshop, and I ended up being really good at Photoshop and photo altering and 2D work. So I just changed my major to communication design, which also consists of graphic design, art direction, things like that. So I did that. I worked as a graphic designer in school. I interned at really nice companies, and I graduated on time. So I got a job in my field 4 months after I graduated school at a magazine, and I worked at that magazine in New York for 4 years. It was a great job. I loved it. I wanted to work there forever, but I guess all good things must come to an end, because 4 years into working there, HR flew in from California and announced that they were shutting down the New York office and laid us off, which was very sad for me. I love that job. I love my boss. I love my coworkers. I was really, really upset about it. But, you know, I just kept pushing on, applying to more jobs. About a month later, I got a really good job making more money that I was making at the magazine. And it was very diverse. Also, I was doing different kinds of graphic work. So it was also a skillful job. But they could not, I guess they didn't do their accounting correctly for the year, and they realized they couldn't afford my division. So they completely laid off my entire division after a month of working there. I was just so distraught. Being laid off after the second time was just like super hurtful. And I guess I just was like, I can't, like, I applied to a job, I went to warp mode. I applied to like 50 jobs a day. I was just like, gotta get a job, wake up, apply to jobs, wake up, apply to jobs. I cried a lot. I was extremely on the verge of a depression. It was very, very stressful for me. And, but you know, I am an artist, and I am constantly making things, constantly creating. So I just started, I always had a natural hair YouTube channel, even when I was working full-time. And so I just started making more videos weekly, and making more money with my YouTube channel, and doing a little bit of sponsorships. But it wasn't enough to make a full income. Obviously, the more subscribers and views you get, the more you make, and that's nice, but it fluctuates, especially with the YouTube algorithm changing. It made it harder to make money, because sometimes people don't see your videos because they have to go through this whole process of not even just subscribing anymore, but clicking the bell button, or they may not see your videos for the day. So it made it a little bit more difficult. I started posting 3 videos a week at one point, and I started to get a little burnt out, so I narrowed it back down to 2 weeks, every 2 a week. And so my mom, she's a sculptor, she does public art, and she hired me to do some graphic work for her, and she gets paid through the state, so that was very helpful for helping me make money. And I also have a natural hair hair product business that I make natural hair products. They're 100% vegan. I'll link them in the description box if you're interested. But long story short, I started selling them on Etsy, and that was pretty successful. So I had multiple streams of income. I ended up moving to a different state, and now I work as an aide for a school as well. So I have like 4 jobs and you know, it's all great, but I just feel like I'm not making the money I believe I deserve for the amount of jobs I have, you know what I mean? And I'm just like sick of it. So I still applied to, you know, I felt by moving to the new state that it's like New York is very oversaturated. I wasn't getting jobs. By the way, I was applying to jobs every day. I wasn't getting jobs. I was getting depressed because when you're rejected like back to back to back over and over and over again, it can be really detrimental in your mental health. Even though like I feel like I'm a really good designer, a really good artist, it doesn't really have a say on how you are as an artist. It's just like there's a lot of like politics that go into hiring someone. It could be so many different things. I'm not even gonna go into it, but I wasn't getting the results I wanted, and I was getting depressed. Luckily I was able to get out of my depression and get back into the swing of things because I was doing more things that I enjoyed, like creating my hair product business and doing my YouTube channel and all those things. It was nice to wake up when I felt like it and things like that, and have more free time for myself and whatnot. And I was still being able to sustain my lifestyle, like travel and things like that. So it really helped having those supports come in, my skill set to support myself on my own, even without a corporate full-time job. But again, I'm working 4 jobs. It's a lot of work, and I believe I should be making like $100,000. So it's kind of like, all right, so moving forward, I moved to this new state and I applied to jobs, and there was this one job that was up the street from my job. I fit every requirement, had everything that they wanted, asked for, and plus I have a bachelor's degree of fine arts in graphic or communication design from Parsons, the new school of design, one of the top design schools in the country, and I have tons of experience. And so I knew I had the job. I was like, I got this job, I'm getting this job, ooh, I'm about to have this job. They sent me a decline letter the next day. I was like, okay, that's it. I'm done. I'm done. I had my little conversation with God. I had a prayer and I said, God, whatever you need to do to guide me to make this $100,000 job, or just making better money, like not necessarily less work, but just to feel like I'm actually putting something into something and getting something back, you know what I mean? And not constantly feeling like I'm not getting anything back. Like, and I'm not even back, I'm a very like organized OCD type of person. So I want a 401k plan, which I have, but it's staying still because I don't work corporate anymore. I want a 401k plan. I want a pension. I want, you know, bonuses, benefits, you know, paid time off, like, you know what I mean? Those kind of benefits that I don't get when you work for yourself. So I just felt like I want a job that's like a corporate job. I know a lot of artists aren't like that. They're like very much so like, I want to like be free and do my own thing and make what I want. And even though I like that, I do have like a more like, I guess like strategical, I don't even know what to call it, like analytical side of myself, where I want structure and organization and boom, boom, boom. I know I'm getting paid every 2 weeks, boom, boom, boom. You know what I mean? And so that aspect of me desires that. So I don't mind. I'm that kind of artist that doesn't mind working a 9 to 5, and then on the weekends I could do my art stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like that. I'm like that. I'm really good at multitasking. Art school will teach you how to multitask. Well, design school will teach you how to multitask and how to manage your time. So I'm really good with deadlines and managing my time. So with that being said, I have no problem like alternating, you know, your work life with your creative personal life. That company that declined me, that was up the street from my job, that I knew I was perfect for, really, it just was like, all right, that's enough. That's enough of that. And so I started Googling careers that make good money, like, and that are more guaranteed careers. So I'm Googling. So in the back of my head, like for years, I've been like saying to myself, like as a joke, and I say it to my boyfriend sometimes, I should have been a nurse. I should have been a nurse. I should have just been a nurse. Honestly, just should have been a nurse. Like every time like something goes wrong in like, I guess my field, I'm like, I should have just been a nurse. Like, and I always say that. And like, I know that sounds like kind of secondary, like, oh, like nursing is like your plan B, but there's nothing wrong with your plan B. Sometimes your plan B ends up being better than your plan A. Long story short, when I Googled jobs that make good money, nursing was the one that came up, was one of the ones that came up first. Pharmacology also came up, and I looked into that, and I was like, wait, 10 years of school? I don't think so. so I was like, wait, nursing, like, now after all my research with nursing, I understand they say do not go into it for the money, but I'm gonna get to that. So I started doing some research on nursing. I started doing some research on how to become a nurse. What do you do to become a nurse? What are the steps to become a nurse? And I saw that because I already have a bachelor's, I can do an accelerated program. So I don't have to do 4 years all over again. I literally can do an accelerated program. Basically, I just have to have a bachelor's with decent grades and a decent GPA, prerequisite classes, and then you take like 1 year of nursing school, and then you get your, well, obviously you have to take your NCLEX, and then you get your license, and then you're a nurse. Boom. I'm like, oh, like, I think I want to do that. So the prerequisites, because I'm an art major, I don't have all the prerequisites, so I definitely have to take those prerequisites, but I'm gonna get into that in a minute. That is how I end up changing careers, or thinking about changing careers. I have been thinking about it for a while, because I just want, the reason why too is because I just want, there's different things now. Not saying I don't care about being an artist or anything anymore, because again, it's like, that's my passion. I'm gonna always be an artist no matter what I do. I just need structure, and I basically feel like my boyfriend and I have been dating for 5 years now. We want to get married, we want to have kids. There's things we want to do, and because I'm such an organized, like everything gotta be like this person, I don't feel comfortable proceeding with like those major life decisions without a stable income, a stable foundation. And you know, so I'm just like, I can't keep like living like this, I guess, like as the you know, the fly by the seat of your plant artist. My mom is kind of like that. She's a hustler. Like, she really knows how to make her money as an artist, but I don't have the brain for that. I need structure. I need to know boom, 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 boom. So that's how my brain works. And not saying my mom's not like that too, because she's kind of like that too, but she has more of the extroverted like capacity and skill set for that kind of skill for being an artist and being successful as an artist. So long story short, that is how I became to changing my major or my career or whatever into the nursing field. But I am a graphic designer. My first thing that I did was I did a lot of research. I love to research. I love to find out new information and get all the deets on what I need to know. And I love to ask questions and ask people who I know are in doing something that I want to do. Hey, how do you do it? How do you do this? Obviously, I don't want anybody to hand me anything. Like, sometimes when you ask people questions, they think that you want like a handout, like, oh, just tell me how to do it, just tell me everything you did and tell me the easy way. Like, I don't want that. I just want to know your experience, so I could just take that experience and hold it as like information, and that's about it, and I can do the work on my own. But so I did a lot of research, and I asked people who I know who are in the medical field. My best friend, she originally was trying to go into nursing school, and she's in the medical field, and she knows a lot about nursing. She knows a lot about the health just the health field in total. She's pretty high up in the healthcare field, so she's been super supportive, giving me a lot of advice, and kind of been like one of like the backbone of like me getting into this whole field, I guess, because she's been giving me a lot of information, and in order for me to be able to focus on something, I have to have the information. So, but one of the mistakes that I have made also with this process is sometimes asking the wrong people, whether that means that, or telling the wrong people. So either telling people who aren't involved in nursing, or even telling people who are involved in nursing. So sometimes telling people who are not involved in nursing can be bad, because they only see you as one light. Wait, you're an artist. Wait, you're a graphic designer. Wait, they think of you as your right side of your brain, and they feel like nursing's on the left side of your brain. So it's like, how are you gonna go from this to this? And they don't see that for you, so they give you like, they discourage you from that. And I guess they try to encourage you to keep doing what you've been doing, but if you've already decided for yourself, okay, that's not what I want for myself anymore, it would be nice if the people in your life would support that, but that's not always gonna happen. So I've learned that, like, not to keep my goals and my plans to myself until I just start doing it and people start seeing it. I mean, I tell people here and there, but like literally like a small group of people. Another mistake was telling people who are in the field. Now, have you guys heard of this term called nurses eat their young? Like, I've been reading and watching a lot of videos on that, and it's kind of sick. But basically, I feel like not all nurses are like this, but some people feel like because of the process they went through, the hard work they went through, and because they also see you as a certain type of way, they don't think you could A, handle it, B, that it's not for you, C, that you won't follow through, D, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. Like, they just have all these preconceived ideas about you and I guess the field that they're in. even though they might give you the advice on how to do what they're doing, they will give you negative energy in other ways, in subliminal ways, in passive ways that can really be detrimental to your focus. So I would just say, just be mindful of that, and be mindful of the people you talk to, and make sure that the people you're talking to are really supportive of you, really love you, really care about you, really want to see you like succeed at anything you decide to do. So yeah, that's what I've learned, and that's kind of all I'm gonna say touching on that. Okay, so the prerequisites. So what I did was I started from the top and worked my way down. So because I now know I can start I have two options. I can go to a community college and take all the regular classes. Because I have all these credits from my bachelor's degree, I can skip a lot of classes even in a community college and graduate early and not have to do a full 4 years. Or I can do an accelerated program. So I was thinking about, I kind of was fluctuating between the two, and I was thinking of, okay, I'm gonna do the community college thing, because that way I can work full-time and go to school. I can, you know, so it'll be like a slower process maybe, but at least I'll get to work, you know, full-time, blah, blah, blah. Wait, back up. So I'm gonna back up really quick. So during my research, during my research, I was reading about like nurses getting jobs as soon as they get out of school. A lot of nurses do get jobs before they even graduate, which is like amazing to me, being someone who found it so hard to find a job. Even when I first graduated college, I didn't get a job till 4 months, and it was just like a struggle applying to jobs all the time. Like, to be able to get a job like while you're still in school and secure that, like, so many nurses have said that they've gotten jobs while they're still in school. Like, that to me is like, yes, can I have that stability, please? Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, but there were some nurses that said because they didn't do medical things during school, they either got a lower salary or they didn't get a job as quickly, or the job that they wanted. So my thing is like, I learned in college, my first go round, you need to intern your ass off. You need to intern. So like I said, I have 2 years of graphic design experience before I even graduated, and that's from just doing a lot of paid internships or even free internships and things like that. I'm not sure if nursing has like internships. I know they have, like, you can do volunteer work and things, but you can do certificate work. So I was like, I read that if you become a CNA, a certified nurse's assistant, that is considered like experience that you can put on your resume, which can allow you a higher pay grade when you graduate, getting faster into the hospital or facility you want to get into, and getting into the, like, I guess, like the exact department you want, or not the exact, but maybe have a higher chance of getting into the exact department you want. So I was like, okay, like this is like normal to me. Like, I already know the ropes of school. So I started looking into certified nurse's assistant, how to get the certificate. I saw 4-week programs, and I was looking around in certain areas. The Red Cross does it, but they had all these different like prerequisites they wanted for you, like I didn't want to do. And so I just did some research and I found a school. So I contacted the school, and they told me that I can get a grant and not have to pay for the schooling at all, because a lot of the classes cost like $1,200, and I was just like, do I have to pay that out of pocket? Do I have to put that in my credit card? Like, what I gotta, you know, whatever I gotta do, I guess, financial aid maybe, I don't know. So I found I could get a grant and get it for free. If I wasn't eligible for the grant, then I can get a scholarship and still get like a large chunk off. So I was like, yes, please. So I feel like this video is going to be so long, guys, but I probably should break this video up, but I want to give you a foundation of where I'm at now, so that moving forward, you guys can understand where I'm at moving forward. So I'm gonna this video might be long as hell, might be an hour long, I don't know, but I'm talking fast. I'm trying to get you all the information that I've been through so far, because you might have questions about this. So anyway, I was going on vacation to Cuba with my boyfriend, then the next, I think, in a week and a half after I had the conversation with the program. And so they were telling me, you know, make sure you come to our orientation and we'll tell you about the whole grant process, but the grant is at a different place. My process with the grant thing was atrocious. It's fine now, but it was atrocious at the time because I didn't have time. They have it on certain days. They have the orientation for the CNA program certain days, and then they have the certain days for the grant program. So I only had like a week left, or a week and a half left of figuring out like how to like to make these programs and be able to get this grant and fill out my application in time, because it's a whole process. It's a whole process. So the next day for me to go to the grant place was the next day. So they told me how to get there, what time, all that. So I went there. I was a little late. They told me to be there by 9:30. I was there a little, first of all, the receptionist sent me to the wrong place. And I was like, okay, like, are they gonna accept someone who's late? And she was like, yeah, it should be fine. So I was late, and then the guy turned me down and said, sorry, the class already started, you missed it. And I had spent, mind you, I'm from New York, so I been Ubering around in this area because I'm now in the suburbs before I have to get a car soon. I know, like, it's been a struggle. But anyway, so I spent like $20 trying to get to this freaking like grant spot, and I'm like, they turned me down. I had to spend another $20 to get back home or back to work. So I was like crying my eyes out, like, to my boyfriend, like, oh my God, he won't let me in, oh my God. And he was just like, calm down, calm down. So they were like, come the following day. So they had openings Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I came on Thursday. So I went to the grant, and the information totally overwhelmed me. They want you to do all these steps. They want you to because they want to make sure you actually can like be eligible for the money that they're going to give you. So they want you to like obviously fill out paperwork, print out all these papers on these different websites. They want you to find 2 schools to consider, go to each school, have them tour you around the school, write all these informations on a booklet about the school, what you like, disliked, go to 3 different like job opportunities, find out if like what they're like shadow whatever jobs that you're like what job is gonna let you shadow them around for like, I mean, I guess jobs could do that, but who has time for that? I don't. So I was like, oh my God. So I called the school and told them. They were like, oh, don't worry about it. And I told them, like, I'm going to like out of the town like next week. I'm not gonna have time to come in. They're like, oh, don't worry, come like when you come back. The next class starts July 29th. And I was just like, okay, like, am I gonna miss it? They're like, we don't know, it's kind of cutting it short, but you know, we have a strong relationship with the counselor, so we'll try to like get you in there, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, all right. And I was like so stressed out about it because I really wanted to get into it because CNA program was 4 weeks and I wanted to finish it before I started classes. So I'm gonna get to the classes in a minute. I'm trying to work my way there while staying on subject because it was all over the place. It was literally like this, this, over here. Like, so I'm trying to stay a little organized for you guys. So whatever, I went on my vacation, I came back, went to the orientation, and I told them I'm trying to be a CNA. The lady who was the professor for the program was like, CNA? Because she does like a mini interview about your background, kind of like what I told you guys, and she was just like, no, you're not gonna wanna be a CNA. All CNAs do is wipe butts and get told what to do, boss around. You're the bare bottom, you don't even get paid that much, you'll get paid like $9 an hour, like you do not wanna be a CNA. And I was just like, she's like, I just tell you're really smart, you're educated, you got things going for yourself, like, and you're trying to be a nurse? No, you don't want to be a CNA. And I was just like, so she was like, you want to be a medical assistant? And I was just like, okay, but like, don't they just sit up front and do paperwork? Like, how am I gonna get experience? She's like, no, you learn phlebotomy, you learn EKG, you learn this, you learn that, you learn all these different things, and you can work in the back and work in the lab, or you can work obviously in the front and you do some billing and da-da-da. So I was like, oh, and so she's like, yeah, that program's 8 weeks and it's $4,000. And I was just like, oh, so it's like 3 times the amount of the freaking CNA program, okay. She's like, yeah, but the grant place will, if you qualify, they will pay for the whole thing, including your books. I'm like, okay, I could get with that. So I was like, all right, cool. Like, it sounds better than CNA because, yeah, I do not want to be wiping poops all day, even though I know nurses do it too. But I know how, I've been doing a lot of research and videos on CNAs. They really don't get paid, and they really like get bossed around by the nurses and do a lot of the dirty work. So I was like, all right, this is probably a better option, and the medical assistant people still get like experience, nursing experience. So I was like, okay, I need a certification, so that's really good. So I'm like, all right, cool. So went back to the grant place. For my second interview, all they had me do was like look to see if I had everything together, because the professor, she just literally filled out everything for me, so I didn't even have to go to these jobs. I didn't even have to go to another school. She literally just filled it all out for me and said, here, just act like you went to, you know, whatever. And I was just like, okay. So I went, and the lady saw that I had all my papers and said, you can go. And I'm like, so I come here for 5 minutes, I spent $20 to get here, just to be here for 5 minutes for you to just make sure I have everything. Okay, spent another $20 just to go back home or go to work or whatever. Okay, but I thought to myself, okay, this class is $4,000. All the money I'm spending on Ubers is okay because I'm saving $4,000. So that's kind of the mindset I had to keep in it, because I'm like, $20 for an Uber, $20 for Uber back, geez. So yeah, so I came in for my final interview with the grant place, and yeah, they found out that I didn't live in that county. The school that I was going to is in one county, and I don't live in that county. I live in the next county, and the grant is county based. So they told me I had to go to a different county, and I was like, what? And no, I could not transfer everything. I had to start the whole process over again. What? I cried. I was like, this is not gonna happen. This is not gonna have to pay out of pocket. Like, maybe I shouldn't just even do it. I'm like, you know, having a fit about this, because I'm like, what the heck is going, like, this is stressful. I literally had a mental breakdown. My mom had to like calm me down and tell me like, Pierre, you need to relax. You're not gonna pay that out of pocket. You're gonna relax. You're gonna do the process. You're just gonna chill out. You know, you need to get your emotions in order. You need to be emotionally stable, like this and the third, whatever. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Just like do what you gotta do and hope for the best. And I was just like, whatever, all the words of encouragement she gave me really helped me calm down. And I kind of like started going to a mindset of, okay, I need to relax. I need to stop rushing. Like, you know, it's okay. I'm in a rush because I want to move on with, I guess, my life. But it's like rushing isn't gonna help. You need to just take your time and do things the right way. So I'm like, okay, fine. So long story short, I did the whole process with the next, with my actual county. That was annoying, but I did it. It wasn't too bad. And now I'm eligible for the grant, and they were able to get me into the July 29th class. I'm actually supposed to find out today to complete. They told me on Friday. Today's Monday. They told the class actually starts today, but they told me on Friday that they need one more piece of paperwork, and it's supposed to come in on Monday. So you can start on Tuesday, and we'll catch you up. It's not going to be hard because there's a small class. So I was just like, okay. So I'm technically supposed to go to class tomorrow, but I had to. It's like it's 11 o'clock in the morning, so I'm not gonna find out till like around 1 o'clock what's really going on. But yeah, basically I start classes tomorrow. If not, then I start on August 12th. So yeah, I'm in medical assistant classes, and I'm gonna be a medical assistant, and I hope to work as a medical assistant while I'm in school, which leads me into the next subject. So as I said, I was fluctuating between community college or accelerated program at a nursing school. So for a while I was kind of going down the community college route, and so I went to my local community college. I applied to the school, registered for classes. I brought my unofficial transcript because I happened to have my unofficial college transcript. I didn't have my high school transcript. But they told me that because I took English in college my first go around, I don't gotta take English. Because I took psych, I took intro to psych my first go around, don't gotta take psych. Because I took chemistry, and I got really good grades in chemistry in high school, and I got really good grades in biology in high school, I don't have to take biology or chemistry as a prerequisite. I can go straight into anatomy and physiology. I was like, okay, I don't gotta take prerequisites for my prerequisites, okay, because that's a big thing. Sometimes you have to take prerequisites for your prerequisites. Like, what the heck? Oh my god. So luckily I'm going straight into my actual prerequisites. So I gotta take anatomy 1, anatomy 2, microbiology, nutrition, statistics. That goes into the next thing. So the community colleges, the way they set up their program is different than how an accelerated nursing program sets up their program. I did a lot of research and found out that nursing school is like super competitive, and it's super hard to get into like at community colleges because of how cheap it is. So the school I have, it's a 2-year school because it's a community college, but they have a deal with their local university, so you could take 3 years at the community college at community college price, and then your last year at the university. And I thought that would be a better option because I would be working as a medical assistant, making my money, and also be preparing to go to school at a slower rate, but I'll still be making good money. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I looked at it. So I actually just spoke to one of the medical assistant people who are trying to get me into the program. It's such a process trying to get the grant through or whatever. So again, I may not start today or tomorrow, but I will definitely be starting in 2 weeks, August 12th, which is annoying because that means I'll have more time. Because basically, long story short, what I decided to do was to just go through with the accelerated program, just because I only need 5 prerequisites classes, so 5 classes, and I jump right into the nursing program. And because it's accelerated, it's probably, I'm not saying it's going to be easier, but it's going to be less difficult for me to get into the program because it's not like I'm like a fresh new nurse or a fresh new person going into the program where like it's such a high demand for a lot of people who are straight out like high school or like their like, what is it, community college, trying to get into the nursing program. It's a lot more complicated to get into the nursing program at a community college because it's such a low pay and because there's so many students than just going ahead and jumping into the accelerated program. So I feel like it's more of a risk to just go ahead and take all these classes at a that I don't necessarily need at a community college, even though it would be a slower process and I would have more time. But in the long run, I would be saving more time because I would get my BSN like a year and a half quicker or sooner. So, or even maybe longer, because sometimes the wait for the nursing program can be from anywhere from like 6 months to 3 years, 3 or 4 years. Like, who has time for that, girl? No. So I'm like, you know, the community college only allows you to apply to it twice a year, so fall and spring, whereas the accelerated program allows you to apply like 3 or 4 times a year. So yeah, you definitely were gonna get into a program a lot sooner, and because I had the like foundation for it, why not, you know what I'm saying? But in an accelerated program, working is a lot more difficult. I either have to work part-time or not at all. But I mean, I haven't been technically working for the last 3 years, so it's not a big deal. I mean, I make my money at home. Even if I don't, even if I can't work, you know what I mean, I can still do my at-home stuff, you know what I'm saying, to make some money or whatever. And obviously it's only a year, and a year is, I mean, I've been, like I said, I've been technically out of work for 3 years, so what's another year? And I'll be actually, you know, going into something to get something out of it, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. And then on top of that, the problem is that because I've chosen the accelerated process, I'm only gonna take 5 prereqs, leave the community college and go apply straight to a university that has an accelerated program. Find all the schools in my area and my radius that have accelerated programs. That's the first thing. Second thing is you want to find all the, like, you want to look at all the schools' prerequisites, what they all want, their GPA, their location, how easy or not easy it is to get there, whatever. So the top school, I narrowed it, I put it in an order. So the first school I want to go to, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna apply to that as soon as I finish those. They only want 5 prerequisites, whereas the 5th school wants like 7 or 8 prerequisites. So my plan is to do 5 prerequisites first. The second one wants 6 prerequisites, so I'm gonna do, but you can also apply as long as you've done at least 3 other prerequisites. So I'll apply to those 2 first, and so I'm gonna do 5 first. I was gonna do 3 this semester, and then the other 2 next semester if I have to take a summer class for that last one and apply to the school. But at the end of the day, I will, if I end up getting to the second school. But at the end of the day, I only need like 3 prerequisites to apply, so that makes life easier. I can apply to more schools, and whichever I get into, I can know better, like, okay, what's the last couple of prerequisites I need to take before starting school or whatever. I decided I was gonna take an anatomy physiology 1 this semester, a math class, and then nutrition. Speaking of math, so again, I have all my English prereqs, whatever, but I didn't have to take math in art school because what do we need math for, you know what I'm saying? We don't need math in art school. So, I mean, technically we do. Designers definitely use a lot of math, but we don't have to take it in school. Go figure. So I had to take a placement test. I felt like, wow, I missed out on all these things like my first year go around at college, because we don't have to take placement tests at art school. Like, all the things that my friends were doing at regular colleges, I didn't have to do. So now I'm doing all the regular college things that I never had to do before. It's funny, like prerequisites. I didn't have to take prerequisites at art school. You just have what you have and that's it. It's hilarious to me, but kind of stressful. Anybody that knows me knows I suck at math. Put on top that I haven't taken a math class in over 10 years. Y'all, I'm 29, so let's put that out there. I'm 29, I know I look young, but I'm 29. So yeah, so I haven't taken a math class since I was 18, so over 11 years of no math. Like, girl, I was stressed. Luckily, my best friend Kiara, she is like a mathematician, and so she helped me study for the I don't know what out of this test. I studied and studied and studied and studied and studied, and I failed the placement test by 3 points. 3 points. So they were like, yeah, you gotta go into basically basic math and then take statistics, so a prerequisite to the prerequisite. And I was just like, whoa, girl, like, but I was because like it's above me now. It is what it is. But luckily they do allow you to take the placement test a second time, but the first time is free, the second time you have to pay $10. I was like, whatever, I'll pay it. So luckily I had an orientation, so I did my orientation and my placement test the same day. I studied the sugar out of it again and again and again. Guess what, guys? I passed with flying colors too. Whoop, 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 whoop. So I got straight into statistics. So I was gonna take statistics, statistics, anatomy and physiology this first semester, and nutrition. But since the medical assistant program is adding line, they don't want to start me till August 12th. That means I'll have 4 weeks of summer and then 4 weeks going into my actual school session. And because the medical assistant program I'm in is accelerated, that's like basically I'm learning everything times 2 or 3. So it's like almost taking 2 to 3 extra classes on top of taking 3 classes: nutrition, anatomy, physiology, plus a lab, and statistics. I'm already not that great at math. So I'm like, you know what? If I end up having to get into the August 12th class, I'm gonna just drop statistics and take it next semester and have 3 classes next semester, and then 2 classes this semester plus the medical and the medical assistant program. And I think that's a nice balance or whatever. Either way, I'm still gonna be applying to the first two schools in the spring semester. And even though I'm missing, they want at least 3 schools before you apply, so I'll miss the spring application date, but I can apply that summer date. The spring application date is in March, and the summer one I think is like in May or June. So long story short, I'll either get into the fall. I'm open to fall or spring of next year, so I'll be open to getting into the fall program of next year or the spring program of next year. Either way, I'm open into it. I'm giving myself time. Either way, I'm gonna still be graduating like hella early for a bachelor's degree. So yeah, so that is the plan. Everything is pretty set in place. It's a little up in the air still. I won't know 100% sure what I'm doing until I figure out what this medical assistance school is doing. But I'll know in the next 2 weeks tops. Long story, or I'll either finish by 2022 or finish by 2021 at the top. That's still only 2 years or 2.5 years tops of a bachelor's degree. Like, so I'll have 2 bachelor's degree, and yeah, I could go right into, I can take my NCLEX. I'll also have mind you, if I do end up getting into the, not getting into my nursing program until the spring of next year, it's okay, because I'll be working as a medical assistant all year, making that money. And then obviously when I graduate from nursing school, I'll get a double up pay upgrade and be making that money. So it's okay. It's all going to lead upward from here, and I think it's all great. But I wanted to create this YouTube channel just so that I can tell you guys my process and tell you every step of the way, so you guys can see what I'm doing, maybe learn a little few things, and I can also look back on, and I can also just share my tips and share my experience with you guys. So I hope this first video for you guys is entertaining, and keep watching, because I'm gonna have a video at least once a week from now on this channel. I hope you guys, and that's what I've been through, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and stay tuned. Make sure to subscribe, make sure to like the video, and leave a comment, ask me questions, leave comments, suggestions, advice, all that's amazing. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.